holy power creep, bro.
Yeah.
Fusion red shred and ignores defense is actually crazy, bro. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah. While this guy's over here, right? He's just like talking about spending money and weathering waves like he's pulling teeth.
What? It's happening again. It's still happening. I thought this was behind us. I thought we were past this. It turns out no. Lack of freebies makes this far, far worse. Far, far worse. We don't know the freebie economy yet. If they do enough freebies, we're fine. Low key, this could be a W. They just need to make sure to turn it into a W. Do not make the same mistake as Arcanite's Infield if you want to. You're just rigid in having to use that one gacha system. You know, when a new gacha game gets announced, it is a time for excitement. It is a time for hype. It is a time for joy because we get to see how a new developer is going to take the already existing formula and expand on it and make it better, which also can send a signal to already existing publishers that they can, you know, step their game up because there's someone coming in trying to take your cake. Right. And because of this dynamic, and the reason why we encourage this dynamic is because it is pro-consumer. The more companies compete with each other for the prize that is you, the consumer, the better off we as consumers are. Let's just call it for what it is. And one of the future gacha games that I feel like has definitely shaken up the gacha space. I don't think I've ever seen this much hype for an announcement like this before, and that is of course Silver Palace. Now I haven't been able to cover Silver Palace a lot. As you can see, it's too much to do. I'm a little debuffed, right? But Silver Palace is definitely the next gacha game. I feel like most of us within the Hoyo formula side of things, with like the Hoyo games or the Wuthering Waves or NTE, whatever have you, are eyeing. We're all eyeing Silver Palace. It seems like this AAA dynamic experience, open world. There's obviously going to be the legendary, oh, I'm tired of open world games. I think I'm an open world enjoyer, to be honest with you. I like to take them one step at a time. I feel they're very enjoyable when you don't stress, always wanting to find something instead of like I explore from time to time. And that's the beauty of the fact that it's an open world with a gacha. The reality is you typically log in every single day to do your gacha stuff. And you explore only when you have some free time. It's what I've been doing recently, and I've been really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this approach has been very healthy and is, in my opinion, the best approach to navigate the various systems these gacha games apply for, let's just say, one, player retention, and two, if you want more enjoyment, spend some money, all right? Because in terms of progression, you gotta spend a little bit of money if you want to go beyond the daily stamina they give you every single day. Now, I haven't seen any gameplay footage yet. However, I am hearing that people have seen the gacha system. And here's something, whether we like it or not, a gacha must be good at not only the gameplay loop, but the visuals, everything else. It must be a good video game / must have a gacha system that is very tolerable, easier to navigate, especially when you compare it to the already existing competition, and for it to be as a pro-consumer as possible. You know, it's just a small improvement. Like, we're not naive enough where they're gonna revamp everything, but at least for it to be pro-consumer, where it feels like it's a step in the right direction, where it's a developer that is trying to do more for the consumer than the already existing publishers in the market. And so apparently the gacha system is a little bit rough, because I'm hearing it's the same as Arcanite's Infield's gacha system. Now, I think the Arcanite's Infield gacha system is definitely a different approach to the gacha systems that we know in the Hoyo formula, but I don't think it's necessarily that bad. The problem, in my opinion, for Arcanite's Infield was definitely the lack of currency, the stinginess from the developers. You can navigate the gacha system in Arcanite's Infield after you understand it. It's a little trickier to understand, but you can understand it. You definitely can understand it. And once you understand it, you have an easier time navigating it. Also, looking at this thumbnail, looking at the graphics for Silver Palace, holy moly. You know what? Before we criticize it, let me just, I might create a little bit of bias here, but fuck it. Oh, they got a whole new show. Dude, this thing released 5 days ago, and it has 1 million, and it's almost 2 million views. Probably by like next week, it'll be 2 million views. Jesus, man. Oh my God. You know what? Let's watch it real quick. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to not miss any updates.
I guess I better go subscribe to VXV Gacha.
It's her. Oh my, this girl, Jesus Christ.
Chanting tune, not dancing to it would be a crime.
Come to think of it, even the graphics remind me a bit of Arknight's Infield. Am I crazy? Gee, look at the world, man. What's that big-ass whale doing there? Dude. Oh my God. That is beautiful.
The curtain falls. Thus have I come to thee. You're a woman
Yeah,
of
we're so
many
playing this
faces.
game, bro.
Which is the
We
real
are
you?
so playing this game.
Don't spoil the moment. Not that it matters.
I'm not gonna lie, the graphics of the characters remind me a lot of Arknight's Infield's graphics.
Instead of trite questions, what you should be concerned with
What?
is how this dance of ours will end.
Oh, we got some mini games. We got chest mini games. All right. Sorry, I was debuffed by what? It's the chest, not chest. My apologies. I was, you know, she caught me by surprise, and the words are the same. So.
Dive any deeper, and you may just drown.
We were utterly unprepared for the incoming disaster. This case is a clue that I'm interested in.
There's some emphasis on the medical side.
From cankered soil was the beauteous shell built. They live unwooed and unrespected. Fade. The rain drowns out the wailing and washes away the blood.
Hold your horses. First, we've something more important to do.
God damn.
She'll return to that place.
They got some
They got some
spice under this, huh?
Such fair
The
creation.
MC is following Aura, I'm not gonna lie.
Time and again undone by fate's changing course.
Was that the MC? I gotta check this. Who's that?
Time and again.
I don't know who this is, but I'm pulling. Dude, look at that. That is so cold. Literally.
Undone by fate's changing course. Only thy eternal summer shall not fade.
Hiko! Alright, we got some badass male characters. Alright, we good.
What answer do you
All
hope to
right.
find?
Jesus, that is a good looking game, man. Oh my God. This is, I think, some footage of someone recording it, I think. All right, so there it is. This is some gameplay. Oh, hell yeah. What the hell, babe? I'll be honest, the horse looks a lot better than the bike. Because it feels, you know, it's a Pegasus. So I like the bike, but god damn. And we will gotta step it up a bit. Oh hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So this is what I mean. Like this comes in, we can now look at Wuwa and go, hey Wuwa, can we get that too? We'd appreciate it. That's beauty. I think the monsters need to be a little bit more dynamic. Maybe it's because they're zombies, so that's why they move a lot. But like, look at them. They're just. It feels like they're standing there a little too much. You know what I mean? Because like not all of them get staggered. Because like it makes sense when some of them are staggered, but when they don't, when they're not staggered, it feels a little weird. It's like too Genshin Impact-y. Oh hell yeah! What's this? Is that the ult? I feel like MC might just be good on this game. He ain't no traveler like Genshin Impact. Ah, here we go. All right, god damn, bro, what the hell, babe? I think there's like a badass ults. For example, this one. Here she is. I like this one. I might main her actually. shit. What the hell? Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I love her hair, dude. I love her hair. But yeah, there it is, man. There it is. Yeah, clearly there's a lot going on with the game. And I feel like personally it is going to be a strong contender to be added to our roster of games. 100%. There's a good chance I might add it with, because like WUA NTE now is all fun and all, but I still don't have enough game time. I'm probably going to be adding this one too. But apparently the gacha system is obviously like Arcanized Enfield, which will ruffle some feathers, as some people are complaining about the Arcanized Enfield gacha system already within Arcanized Enfield. But like, once again, I think it's definitely stems from the fact that the stinginess, the lack of resources to even navigate the damn gacha system in the first place, and therefore it can become a strong issue. Now we have good old Saint. We all know how Saint hates the Arcanized Enfield as a game, really, and the fact that it's going to be like Arcanized Enfield's gacha, the same as Silver Palace, is obviously going to ruffle his feathers. So let's check out what he has to say, and we'll go from there. This is going to be someone that is unbiased as possible, that still tolerates the Arcanized Enfield formula in terms of the gacha system, but not the stinginess. Stinginess is something I just don't like, because that's very, very anti-consumer. I don't like that shit. But Saint obviously is a little too, aggressive in anything Arcanized Enfield. So let's see what he has to say. I'm very curious.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again, and there is not really good news to share. We're talking about gacha, we're talking about 2026, and we're of course talking about a very highly anticipated new release that has gotten some negative PR as of late. And let me just make what my position over here is in this video. Let me just make it very clear.
What is it?
I'm giving my take. I'm being objective, and of course, I'm doing the one thing that I'm always saying other people are doing. Sorry.
Are not doing.
I'm not doing the one thing that I'm always saying other people are doing, and that is grifting. There is a possibility over here, right? Due to the things that I share, the opinions that I have, that maybe some of like the sponsorship deals, right, that I potentially was pursuing right now, maybe they don't fall through. But this is the thing. I think that this issue, especially when it pertains to something as important as a gacha system,
I don't like how he just mentions that like as some form of virtue signaling. He just comes off virtue signaling. Like, I think he's sharing. I don't know. It comes off as virtue signaling for some reason, considering the framing he's trying to do and the fact that he mentioned other people. It feels virtue signaling. It's why? Just keep it pushing. Let people eat. Jesus Christ.
Carry forward, 50-50, all of that. I think this is a really important issue to talk about.
Oh yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
Something that could.
It's like I said earlier, the game must be good, and also the gacha must be good to navigate and tolerable and feels pro-consumer, as in a step in the right direction when you compare it to the already existing titles. This is very important, especially the veterans within the gacha space. Very important.
Well, kill this game in the cradle. But the devs have recognized it as well, and they've made a response. So let's talk about it. So there's been a lot of talk about Silver Palace's gacha system, and the fact that it is following Enfield.
So maybe devs listened already. Maybe this is a non-issue.
Example. Many of us consider Arcanized Enfield to have one of, if not the worst gacha system in the space, where its systems with no pity carry forward, stuff like that, feel like they're archaic from back in the day. And somebody's actually made a bit of a breakdown over here of some of the specifics behind that system. And if you're familiar with AKE, you'll probably see a lot of the highlights. Limited character is guaranteed at 120, and there's no guarantee after you lose the 50-50.
Yeah, so it's like Arcanized Enfield, huh? And we're keeping the damn 50-50, of course. That system needs to burn to the ground. I'm tired of that shit.
This essentially means, right, you get one 5-star unit at 80 pulls, and you could just lose. And you could lose repeatedly until you get to 120.
See, here's the thing. They just need to make sure we get enough freebies to navigate this. Do not make the same mistake like Arcanized Enfield. And here's something crazy, man. I could be reaching here. This could be a reach, but what if some of the people from the Arcanized Enfield team are behind Silver Palace? Or maybe it's like another company that maybe bought the company and they make it, because like it feels like it's the same in terms of graphics, you know what I mean? And now we also have the same system. I know this is a little conspiracy theory here, but I think I'm on to something. You look at the graphic style, you look at the polish, you look at the character design in terms of graphics as well. They're very similar. Now we also have the same gacha system. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they were the different route of, okay, this one is going to be factory and this one is going to be the classic Hoyo stuff. Release them both. And we don't want this one to be associated with us that way, because you know companies like to do this stuff. I think it's a business tactic. Look, you never know. You never know. I mean, it's business. I can see the incentive for them to do it like that. You never know. And the reason why that is, one of the reasons, that was obviously going to be more, but the one I know of is so that way they don't feel like so that way the already existing consumers that are attached to the brand don't feel like they're being alienated if they see the brand doing something that's not, what they're known for. You know what I mean? It's like if Apple started a phone manufacturer like Apple or something starts selling shoes. Like they want to invest in shoes. They can't do it through the name Apple. They're gonna have to do it through a different thing. Like they're gonna have to start something new. They can still invest, but they just can't do it under the name of Apple because it can hurt their already existing brand of Apple. I hope that makes some sense. That's just one of the reasons. There's even more reasons as to why companies like to participate in a tactic like this.
It's not going to carry
to do
forward
business, to expand business and do different branches of businesses, different types of businesses. I hope I'm making some sense.
Between the banners. That's essentially the exact same way that AKEs actually functions. If you 100%. Don't have 120 pulls ready to go by the time that a banner drops, you theoretically could just lose all of them and get no limited character. And that's just how it works. The end.
Here's a question. How is the early? Is it still under 1%? It should be like 2 to 3%. I think it's going to be very important. It's a little detail that we don't talk about enough, but it's important, man. It's important.
Result is that you're FOMO driven to access the shop, get the rest of the pulls that you need, because otherwise all the pulls that you've invested already, they're completely useless. And that's a system that, as you can see, has gotten a visceral response in the community. Yes, despite the misinformation that so many content creators shared across AKE's release, people hate this system. People hate how this operates. People think it's like a gacha from the Dark Ages.
The reason, it's not simple enough. This is a huge problem. See, the Hoyo formula is slightly complicated, but it's easy to digest and navigate. It's easier. It's simpler. People like simplicity, especially when it comes to predatory practices. The simpler they are, the safer I feel in interacting with it. The more complicated it is, the more I feel like it's trying to cheat me somewhere and I'm uncomfortable with it. This is a very important sentiment that players must navigate. And because here's the thing, whether we like it or not, I'm here to have fun, but also we're emotional creatures. How I feel matters a lot. It does. And when I'm interacting with a product, the feeling must be positive. If it is negative, there's a good chance I want to distance myself from said product. So not only are people not going to be comfortable with this one, it's a slightly more complicated than it's not needed because we already have an existing formula that works, that obviously is sending a signal to the market that just do it like this, you're going to make money. All right. And people are already familiar with it. And also that's something very important. Also, I forgot to mention it. Familiarity. People are more inclined to systems like the Hoyo one because there's a lot of familiarity. I've already played Genshin Impact. I can easily navigate the Honkai Star Rail system because it's basically the same. I can easily navigate the Withering Waves one because it's basically the same, just different in the weapon banner because it's 100%. NTE is even better because it's like a 100% in terms of the 50-50. Like there's no 50-50 at all, whether it's character or weapons. And also, however, for example, in NTE, the weapon system is slightly different. Like there's a little bit of check in there. You know, they rework some things here and there. There's also the casino within the character. So like there's this additional thing for you to learn. However, due to the already existing familiarity you have gotten through the Hoyo games or the Withering Wave, it becomes a lot easier to digest. It's like, okay, well, it's just this small layer, and if anything, it could be fun. For example, the casino. The weapon one kind of sucks, but the casino one is enjoyable. It's pro-consumer. It's good. It's actually an enjoyable thing to do. Pulling becomes slightly enjoyable when you look at how your roles actually perform within the casino thing. It's pretty fun. So that's very, very important also to keep in mind for how players feel and a good degree, especially for veteran players, because I think here we're going to be talking about veteran players and not new gacha players. New gacha players don't know better yet. And also, finally, I think something very important is this system does not feel, like I said at the start of the video, it's very important for when a new gacha game releases, it feels like it's a step in the right direction, that it's trying to beat the competition into trying to get the consumer to themselves. Like they up the bounty. They go, you know what? Like NTE did. You know what? Fuck the 50-50. That's strong. That's very strong. Okay, I'm down with you. Oh yeah, you got me with that one. That's for sure. That's a very powerful move. They didn't even do that. See, players are gonna be very, very disappointed because when we hear new gacha, we hear better predatory practices that are more tolerable, that are more pro-consumer. That's very important. And unfortunately, they're not checking any of these boxes. It's complicated. We're not familiar with it as much, and it's not an upgrade to already existing systems. Yikes.
And all you really need
But he did say the devs listen, so we're here for the ride. Let's see how they respond.
to do, right, is take a look at the actual numbers
In
themselves
Silver
to
Palace,
identify
devs,
just how
I
much
trust.
hate there actually is. Is this the type of gacha system that we want to emulate? I'm just being honest with you. Is this,
The
are we
Twitch
taking notes
viewers.
from this, scribbling down ways that we can improve our game, that we can get growth, that we can get viewers? You want to tell you what's happened to the viewership of this game, the engagement of this
We
game?
don't care. We don't care. We don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. Arcanized Infield is a niche game. It is what it is. That's it. It didn't take off. It's fine. The niche just didn't work. People didn't appreciate the niche. It's fine. Like the viewers, people don't want to watch people sit there, play around their factories. That's it. It applies to many, many different games that were very popular. It's like me trying to paint the narrative of, all right, let me see here. I go Witcher 3. It's like for me going, oh, The Witcher 3, it's a dead game because, you know, it doesn't have much live viewers now. This is by far one of the most popular games ever made, and there's like a new one coming out, etc. It's like, I don't know, man. Like for me personally, it's just, it feels like it's a bit of a... Sure, I get the picture you're trying to paint, but these stats don't even mean as much as you think they do. Because like we're trying to paint them as like this, look at this. This is saying the game just fucking blows. Like it's terrible. No, it's just not for a lot of people in this one platform. That's all it is.
Blah, blah. Social media. Empty Anime Expo booths. Nobody there. This game's viewership has been getting Thanos snapped on repeat since it fucking released, bro. Minus 50, minus 50, minus 14. And then on this month, bro, it got Thanos snapped twice. Then you had Endgame. You brought half the people back, but then they got snapped again. You somehow have an average of 500 viewers when your game used to have 100,000 because you sponsored so many people. Then people see what the game looks like, and then of course they can't get past the fact that this is one of the most predatory gacha systems the space has ever seen, and everybody fucking hates it.
The problem with Arcanized Infield is it's complicated. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Considering it's a side game, it's just too complicated. That's what I feel like is the problem with Arcanized Infield. It's not that hard. For the normies like myself, I couldn't get into it as much because it's just a little too complicated for me. I understand some people can easily navigate that. More power to them. They get to have another game added to their roster. I was so jealous. But the reality is, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's just the gacha system. No. It's just a little too complicated. And considering the niche they're in, which is gacha, it's just not going to click for most of us because we are conditioned to be casual gamers to these games. And this game requires a lot of attention and a lot of dedication that a lot of us aren't willing to give. Because like your average Genshin player doesn't even know what the fuck elemental mastery is. Believe it or not, like leave the internet, because like not the majority of the player base is not in Reddit or Twitter or stuff like that. They're not there. They don't even know what the fuck elemental mastery is. You know, the people you see just playing it on their phone, the keys, they don't know what the fuck that is. So yeah, that's basically the type of players that is the majority. And when you think about the lack of simplicity, lack of familiarity, because also I feel like as an open world game, it's not necessarily an open world game. It feels like it's a half open world game. You know, it's tough. And also there's a bit of a false advertisement because it seems like it's going to be like this, combat open world classic game that we all know and love. But then it turns out it's a factory simulator. Well, I'm sorry. And also, is the factory easy? Is it enjoyable? Not really. Not really. I feel like it's not enjoyable because of how complex it is. And the fact is, you want me to get interested in a factory system. That's very hard to do when the reason why I came in here in the first place is because of the 2D anime baddies and a hack and slash type of playstyle. Synergy with the units, etc. You know, classics. I feel like that's the ultimate problem with Arknights Enfield. It's just the gacha system or stuff like that. So definitely a factor, but I feel like that's just literally what killed it the most. It's just that it's a very hard game to get into. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just a hard game to get into. And when you consider the target audience they're going after, it's just bad. It's a bad business move. I feel like this is what I was trying to say. Arknights Enfield is suffering from a bad business decision. The consumer they're targeting simply will not resonate easily with what they're suggesting. And it is really that simple. It's not a bad game inherently, because I can see the beauty of it. There is some enjoyable factors about it, but it's just not enough when you consider the complexity that is attached to that.
Everybody except a couple of CCs. And this is where the conversation is just going to get so murky, because you'll have the biggest grifters in the space who are likely going to reiterate, depending on how much they've been paid, the same exact dialogue and bullshit they were trying to say before about AKE's gacha system. We got Mr. Pokey over here with a tweet right before AKE's release, glazing the gacha system, defending it tooth and nail, and saying the players are the ones that are simply wrong and misinformed.
What he was trying to say is you can navigate it. And I agree. At first, it's shocking. There is obviously the shock factor. And I feel like Mr. Pokey's what he's trying to say here. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Mr. Pokey. You know me, right? Like for anybody that knows the channel, I'm not a huge fan of him. And I just don't respect him as much considering some of the behaviors he exhibited towards people. But the fact is, when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong. And on this one, I think he's right. The reason why people are going after him and is because of just the shock factor that people are still haven't adapted and fully understood the gacha system. I feel like once I understood it, it can be navigated. Just give me the freebies to be able to navigate that shit. Thank you very much.
Pity carry forward itself actually changes nothing. Yep, you're right. A system that protects up to 119 of your polls from going away into thin air, that means nothing. I agree. I don't.
The problem with the system is when you get in early and you lose the 50-50, you still need to get to 120. Like, they don't care. And that's a huge problem.
It's just a psychological hook to get you thinking building pity is beneficial. Hey guys, a safety net is just a psychological hook. A safety net. When you statistically will still take the exact same number of pulls. Guys, this is like saying, don't use a car seat, just don't crash. Guys, don't use a car seat. Don't use a seatbelt. Just don't crash. You'll be fine. You just need to ration your premium currency income between banners. But we all know self-control and gacha gamblers don't mix. Guys, this shit is just...
Well, that's the beauty of gacha games. I feel like, I don't know about you, but I learned a lot about myself in terms of, I got a little bit of gambling addiction. And the self-control required to just make sure, because you hear the strategic voice telling you what you're doing is stupid right now, and you navigate it accordingly. I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm better off as a person through interacting with the gacha system, despite me having a bit of a gambling problem that I would argue the gacha both sometimes enforces, makes it harder to control, / makes me more disciplined into navigating that emotion. Because like just earlier, I'm trying to get Shinku. I failed. I reached 50. I was very tempted to reach 60. 50 is already way beyond what I was willing to pay to get it, right? Just get it early. Like if I were to get it early, like an early 30 or 40, that's beautiful. I went all the way to 50. That's a lot. I could sense that, you know what, well, you did 50. Why not go 60? You have one last 10 pull. Why not? But then you start to remember the strategic side. Okay, the fact is this unit isn't really it. She's clearly a waifu bait. I can't strategically excuse this behavior. Even if I do get her at 60, it's still too expensive. This is just not smart. And you just stop. And that's the beauty of these games. You know what I mean? The strategic mind helps you navigate the gambling aspect of it. It's a beautiful thing. Hey. Maybe we're out here slot machining 2D anime baddies. But the fact is, we are growing as people. If you do it properly, of course.
Absurd. And this is the type of stuff CCs have been saying about gacha systems like this in 2026. That is what is surrounding this game's release, and that is why these games have the leeway to do stuff like this, because they're paying people off to get away with it. And if you want another example of somebody...
I see the picture he's painting, but see, this is the problem. It comes off as virtue signaling again because we're oh, there it is, Gacha Smack again. Oh, of course, why wouldn't he? But I think going back to what Mr. Poke was saying here, I think it's a fair thing to say. Maybe it's also an example of not the message but the messenger, you know, because it's Mr. Poke. He's sponsored as well. You know, the messenger isn't the pretty. But since as someone that doesn't even play Arknight's Enfield anymore, the game isn't for me. And as someone who isn't sponsored by Arknight's Enfield, I can safely say the gacha system is definitely different, more complicated, but all in all, with enough freebies, which the game failed to give, I think it's still a good approach. There is merits to it when you compare it to the already existing Hoyo formula. It definitely will require a different approach, but it does have merits. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like and say it's just objectively worse. No. You just have to do it differently. The approach is different, and that's it. And I don't know why. Because here's the thing. People just love to put things in boxes of either good or bad. There's no middle ground. Well, there are middle grounds. It's kind of what makes life interesting. Because if it was just as simple as just black or white, shit just sucks. You know what I mean? It just sucks. No, sometimes things are gray. And which shade of gray is the question that it makes the thing interesting. So, yeah.
This dude over example of somebody that's getting paid off as well to just like, you know, have some fun. Bro, he already bought the 34. Just look at this dude over here, bro. He's just going crazy, buying so much shit in like AKE, buying out the shop every single time. And bro, you just gotta listen to this guy talk about spending money in Woo-Wah. Listen to him talking about Ameth's weapon.
Holy power creep, bro.
Yeah.
Fusion red shred and ignores defense is actually crazy, bro. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah.
While this guy's over here, right? He's just like talking about spending money in Wuthering Waves like he's pulling teeth.
What? It's happening again. It's still happening. I thought this was behind us. I thought we were past this. It turns out no.
I've never seen somebody have just like a sort of like, oh, here's my sponsored reaction.
By the way, I want you to remember this is about Silver Palace, but he couldn't help himself to dunk on those boys again. He just... he couldn't help himself, man. He just had to get that easy dunk, man. Because why not? And all about this W because you get to make the video longer. Hey, shit.
Here's my unsponsored one.
Maybe we do not appreciate what's being done here, but we can respect it, and we do understand it.
I think this
Game's game, man. Game's game,
Bro. Because here's the thing, chat. $100 ain't enough to cover both Ameth and this.
Yeah,
Be out here mad that $100 ain't enough to get the character and the weapon on.
I'd be mad too. Shit. Have you seen Warframe? $100 gets you not only the character, the weapon, the skins, and you have change.
On no guarantee. As he's just like emptying out the fucking AKE store, bro. Bro, he's just emptying this shit out. And you'll see by like the time he gets to like his later like Rossi streams and stuff, bro, he's got nothing fucking left in the shop. Literally, it's all gone. And of course, smiling the whole time. Glory be to Hypergriff. This is the best gacha system ever. Oh, I love.
It's because he's sponsored, therefore it's safer for him to invest in the game in a sponsored stream. That's just smart business, because what the fuck is there to do in these games if you don't get the most recent unit? That's smart business. What?
This thing. Oh, look at all the weapons I'm losing my 2575 to. That is what surrounds gacha releases like this with systems like this. Literally, there's a reason why I can just pull up these past tweets and they've aged so terribly. Because look at the reaction over here. People are pissed.
Wait, what was that tweet? Future Silver Palace players, if you're hyped for the game's vibe, aesthetics, and potential, and you spend a lot of time on this crappy site, try to mute and block all the doom posting. It usually comes from the usual suspects. As Enfield player, I know how annoying it is. You can definitely shield yourself from criticism completely, but here's the thing. I feel like when have we become this sensitive? have thick skin. That if you see this or not, this doesn't really affect you as much. There is good to be had from different perspectives and criticisms towards the things you enjoy. I think it's very important. It also wakes you up to certain realities and sometimes the bias you may have towards certain things, where you excuse certain practices because you happen to be enjoying something so much. But when you think of it in a pragmatic, practical way, it's just not it. It doesn't, like, okay, emotion and love and enjoyment aside, yeah, no, so this is kind of wrong. Yeah, we do have a problem here. Let's fix that, and then we can add that back in. And I'm pretty sure it will amplify the already existing enjoyment and, you know, all the biases I have even more. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is stop being bitches, all right? Like, God damn it. Y'all gonna make me say it. Like, stop being such sensitive babies. Damn.
With systems like this.
Fudge. I mean, damn.
Literally. There's a reason why I can just pull up these past tweets and they've aged so terribly. Because look at the reaction over here. People are pissed. How does simply mentioning that the gacha system is similar to AKEs get this much traction? Why don't we check out some of the quotes? What's so hard about implementing 100 polls and no 50-50?
What? No, we keep 70 and no 50-50. Thank you very much. Do it like NTE. Why aren't motherfuckers doing it like NTE? I'm starting to get mad. Why aren't these devs doing it like NTE? Like that's the new norm. See, this is why I want NTE to succeed more. I need NTE to be more popular because if they were, stuff like Silver Palace would just implement the new system because at that point they're kind of forced to. They're kind of forced to. Dude, I lied to you. I'm not. My hope is like around 2.0. Is that Hada Studio can just deliver some of that polish. Because we just need some of that polish. Oh, man. And we can finally get some of that popularity. Oh, man. But then again, NTE might become a little too popular and we might suffer from it. So, you know, maybe we're good. Maybe the game is enjoyable as it is. And as long as they do what they do and it's not popular, we're good. You know what? Never mind. I want more polish. I want them to keep improving the game as they should because they are striving for more popularity. So therefore they can make more money off the project that is NTE. But maybe we might want to wish for the stagnation, you know, or like a very slow organic growth, if you know what I mean. It's very slow. We're wishing for hardships for them, man. So that way they can maintain some of the good dev practices towards their player base. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're parasites with that mindset, man. God damn. I'm sorry, NTE devs. I'm sorry.
Future Silver Palace players, if you're hyped for the game,
it's your fault for making it free to play. Damn.
Lives, aesthetics, and potential. You spend a lot of time on this crappy site. Try to mute and block all the doom posting. It usually comes from the usual suspects. As an Enfield player, I know how annoying it is. You can just look down here and it's like, you're just getting called out in the comments like crazy. Are you winning, son? How's that gacha system working out for you? How does it feel knowing that the original Arknights is mogging you? That's a little embarrassing.
That is quite the thing.
I'm pretty sure Enfield is a dead game at the moment. Even their placements in the sensor tower, for all that's worth, is trash F. So you now have Genshin players shitting on it. Because you want to know why Genshin players shit on it? Or Hoyo players shit on it? Because they can say it's worse than ZZZ. And that's a good reason to shit on it. Because, like, how are you worse than ZZZ? That's the impact of negative PR. That's the impact of a bad gacha system, right? And you can sort of see, dude, there's even more, and it just keeps going like crazy. So same system as AKE. Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'll try it out for content purposes, but most likely not playing it for long. Reading the comments, you realize how badly Hoyoverse spoiled half the community by introducing a modernized gacha system that other developers decided to use, and so you have one developer going back in time, setting a new standard. And unfortunately, Silver Palace is following in Arknight's Enfield's footsteps. However, this is the thing. None of this is set in stone yet. None of this is
what did the devs say? Yeah, what did the devs say?
None of this is actually confirmed to be in the game's release. Do you want to know why? Because all of these reports, all of these situations, all of this stems from their beta. What they plan on putting in the game. It could be placeholders. It could be stuff that's changed later. And the goal of these beta tests is this.
Is exactly this.
Be able to get feedback from the players to change the game so that it's in the best state possible for release.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons for why I'm making this video in the first place. Because I want this game to succeed. I want this game to have an opportunity. And I don't think this game is going to have an opportunity to succeed if they launch with this gacha system. Because the devs, apparently, unconfirmed, this is unconfirmed as well, put in a note that everything is subject to change. And I truly do hope that it does.
Of course it will.
A bad gacha system is enough to kill a game. A good...
It's not enough to kill a game. It just makes it very hard to keep up with it. You know, because I feel like what they're selling here is very good. Like the gameplay and everything, it feels very, very amazing. It's beautiful. Have you seen what they're selling here? It's some good shit. It's just that the gacha system is a little too complicated. It could be off-putting to some in terms of the live service model. It's a good game, but in terms of picking up characters and stuff like that, if you want players to, let's just say, contemplate the idea of getting every single unit, this gacha system just doesn't do it. Oh yeah, but it's still okay. Like if the game hits the ground running and it's an actual very, very good, well-polished experience, players will interact with that system and will understand it a little more because of the enjoyment they've gotten from it. Kind of like what we see with Arknights Enfield. It's just that, like I said, Arknights Enfield isn't popular enough due to the complexity of the game, which is obviously gonna not allow a lot of players to really want to get into the game even more. But Silver Palace seems to be simple enough. You know, it's some things we have. If they do hit it, if it's in a superior experience, it will be added to the rosters and people will navigate the gacha system. It's just that the way they went about it encourages pick your targets. Therefore, we cannot, like for example, what I did earlier, just try to get a character for the fuck of it. You can't really do that. And so, see what they can do is even the already existing Arknights Enfield system could be tweaked. For example, a pity carrying over. Like you can get 120 is still too expensive, you know, to guarantee you through 50-50, because like just to excuse the presence of the 50-50 system. That's a decent middle ground that we can somewhat tolerate, but just make sure, for example, pity to carry over. Let it carry over. It helps because that way we can at least try, because if luck is kind that day, I could get an early character, therefore I can maybe try and get every single unit. I think that's a very important approach that a lot of players have towards your game, because you're trying to hype up every single character and players want to feel like they can try, let's just say, participate in the hype of that moment. So yeah, I think they can just do stuff like this as long as the gacha system is tweaked a little more to be a little more pro-consumer, and obviously better than the already existing one of Arknights Enfield, which is, like I said earlier, one of the 3 boxes that a gacha game must check. I think the game will be, you know, more well received than it is being right now in terms of the gacha system, of course.
Good gacha system, however, is not enough to save a game. A good gacha system is a baseline. It's a bare minimum. It's like having shoes and trying to run a race.
There it is. You need the shoes for the long term. The more you move, the more the shoes come in.
To have some shoes on. And so the reality is that it looks like Silver Palace is like about to go to like the school dance, but like they don't have any clothes on. That's what it feels like to
Are they female?
Say that you're releasing with this gacha system, knowing the track record of AKE. Why would you emulate this game? Why are you following these developers? Why are you taking notes in a situation like this, where you see that this is the most dead game, the most like badly used resources, like truly, think of the input to output ratio. How much did they spend on this game versus how much is it making? Do you think it's a good deal?
Well, we can check. They have not said how much. The title generated over 173 million globally across all platforms within just 2 weeks of its launch, according to TechNode, the strong hyperglyph, stuff like that. Okay, let's ask, did Arknights Enfield flop? You know what, let's ask. Arknights Enfield is experiencing a significant decline in revenue, player retention, and community engagement. Widely regarded within the gacha community as struggling heavily, while it has a strong initial launch, reports show that revenue has hit historic lows and streaming viewership has plunged. Falling revenue and player base following its release, the game's mobile revenue and general player engagement saw a stark downward trajectory, with later banner performances failing significantly behind other titles. That's YouTube Saint Tontas. They're actually mentioning him. Misaligned expectations. Many players felt the game lacked the expected engagement, with criticism aimed at the repetitive gameplay loop and the focus on factory building elements rather than traditional RPG combat. And there it is. Misaligned expectations. That's literally what I've said earlier. And as we can see here, even AI agrees with that. The fact is, that's not why we're there. And it sucks to see, man. It really does. But here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen. If you want to emulate a game, why don't you emulate the game that people like? The game that people enjoy playing? The game that is able to blend player friendliness with profitability. And despite having a system that is just better than Hoyoverse's, it's still able to make similar levels of money. And they do that off of volume. And that's Wuthering Waves, because at a baseline, objectively, this game's systems is just Hoyoverse's, but better, with lower pities, more pulls, guaranteed weapon banner, and corals and stuff in the shop, and dupes in the shop. They just have a better version of Hoyoverse's banner.
NGE should add dupes in the shop too, by the way. I don't know why they haven't done that. It's a little sneaky one. They moved past us. I didn't notice that, but I think we don't have like you can't buy through the glitter things. It's like Honkai Star Rail where you can buy standard characters, but you can't you can't get dupes for already existing units, like for awakenings. I think the reason why is because you can choose which awakening you can activate, so that makes it a little powerful. But still, we should have that. Well, why the hell not? I mean, fuck.
System that is just more player friendly, and they make great amounts of money by having more players spend money because they like the systems. And just so you all know, when it comes to the whole AKE versus Wuthering Waves debacle about which gacha system is better, Kukikaze has already done the math. An AKE creator already did the math using programmed formulas and proved that Wuthering Waves is the most player-friendly, the most free-to-play friendly, and has the lowest cost out of all the gacha games. Even when you bring in AKE and its 120 pull pity. Just wanted to mention that as like a fun little bit, just in case you have any more AKE idiots who, even when you...
Okay, hold on. So, 10,000 experiments. Average bulls of first rate up pull. 5th percentile, 95th percentile. So, Arcanite's infield, 1,320. Arknight's 65.06. Arknight's infield's gacha similar to Wuthering Waves due to the similar drop rates. However, has the most expensive free to play based on the numbers of pulls alone. While Enfield may need more pulls than Arknight's, appearing worse, it has better protection system in terms of the maximum cap compared to Arknight's and also Wuthering Waves. However, the comparison of a gacha game being better than another hinges on the pull economy. When assuming equivalent pull economy, meaning per fixed duration, there's the same amount of free pulls. Enfield sits to be a better gacha than even Arknight's, unless you hate weapon banner. If Enfield is more generous than the competition, the gacha aspect is even nicer for a free-to-play. Exactly. It is stingy. If it is stingier, then it starts matching the competition and can be worse. There it is. It is really not that complicated. It is really, really not that complicated. Fucking based. That's exactly what I'm saying too. There it is in 4K. There it is. It's a problem of freebies. Arcanized Enfield will suffer because the reality is you're not giving enough freebies, and the gacha system doesn't make people want to participate in every single character and the hype behind them. Therefore, the hype just keeps dying down. The game is already more complicated than the rest of the roster. Like, it's like they're doing all these barriers to entry to keep enjoying the game. It's stupid. Like I said, the game is fine, but considering the fact that it's a gacha game, the audience you're choosing, the target audience, it's just a bad business practice. I'll have to keep saying this.
You have the actual facts and the numbers in front of you, we'll try to argue against them, because that's all you've been doing the entire fucking runtime of the game. If you're still defending viewership numbers like this, you fucking dips. If you're able to drive spending because people want to spend money on your game versus feeling like they have to, that's the most sustainable way for these games to grow. And yet you are going with the system that is designed to nickel and dime you, make you feel like you're losing, potentially. Guys, you know how much 120 pulls, 119 pulls cost in AKE? Well, why don't we just ask Griff to Smack over here how much they cost? Oh, wait, it's like $100+ for that many pulls. This system, this game literally allows you to throw 119 pulls away, hundreds of dollars in pulls away, if you don't reach the pity by the time the banner disappears. All that money, gone. And a game that launches with a system like that, where it's, hey, we're going to take away all your pulls and you're getting nothing for it unless you top up right now, you little pig. People don't like that. People really hate that. Especially in 2026, where you have none of those restrictions, you have none of those punishments, you have none of that risk in the big gacha games. You don't have it in NTE, you don't have it in Wuwa, you don't have it in HSR.
All the Hoyo formula games don't have that.
It's ZZZ. And yet, you now have this new game that's basically offering, hey, we'll just shoot you in the fucking head in-game. That's a possibility, just so you know. Yeah, you could just die playing this game. Because that's basic. Bro, if you let 100 pulls expire, are you still playing this game? Is that good for player retention? You lost 100 pulls to an expiring banner. You're quitting the neck. You're quitting.
You can still get like the pity translates to the next patch in terms of the 50-50, but it doesn't translate to the 120 guarantee. That's super weird. Come to think of it, I forgot to mention that earlier. My apologies. But yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing, and it's still not enough. Like it's like an attempt to meet us in the middle, but that's just something where it doesn't feel like it's the middle for us. I can see their point and their perspective. It's just we need a little more. Just keep it like the rest, for crying out loud. Like just do it like the others. Crying
Immediately.
out loud.
It's just player unfriendly, stress, FOMO, unfun. And there's a reason why the reaction is this visceral. Because we've seen how bad it is. You get pressured into playing the game.
It's not just, again, I will keep saying, because he keeps saying it, I have to keep correcting. This isn't the gacha system. Arknight's infield suffers from worse. It's the lack of freebies. Definitely, when added, like the man said earlier, the lack of freebies, if you have a lot more pulls, could be considered better than the Hoyo one. The system could be considered better than the Hoyo one. Lack of freebies makes this far, far worse. Far, far worse. We don't know the freebie economy yet. If they do enough freebies, we're fine. Low key, this could be a W. They just need to make sure to turn it into a W. Do not make the same mistake as Arknight's infield if you want to. You're just rigid in having to use that one gacha system. You do it like that, and you can meet us somewhere in the middle. Just do it properly. And also, again, Arknight's infield is a more niche game, factory simulator / also like a false advertisement in a way, because you come here, you're expecting hack and slash, all that cool stuff, and then it's like, oh well, you got to do all this factory shit, and it's complicated as well. It's just not cool. So that's the main reasons why. And when you consider the audience they're trying to sell this product to, yeah.
For hours on release, tens of hours. So
because we're used to be casuals, man.
On the Levy banner,
and we like simple
like
stuff.
Your time's all wasted because the game's actually bad as well.
And familiar stuff.
You were just playing for the gacha system instead of the actual game. And then once you got the character, wow, this game's bad. And guess what? Even if Silver Palace is good, it's going to be so dragged down by the gacha system.
Exactly.
It's going to be hard for people to be proud of like playing the game, want to like share with people and stuff like that. Because it's just going to be like, oh, it's just going to become the next AKE. Because if you emulate, copy, take inspiration from a game that looks like this. Refresh, please. Hey, maybe it's higher. It got low at it. No, it could, though. But, like, it did. It looks like that over there, guys. If you're interested in Google Trends, that's where it's at right now. It looks negative. If you
it's in a downtrend.
Silver Palace itself. Damn. Well, I guess this is the best thing. I guess this is the best I got. Maybe they need, like, the official search term. Yeah, this isn't really working. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not popping up as its own.
Yeah, it's
thing.
not here
That's
yet.
A little unfortunate.
Yeah,
but let's just see where all the other games kind of like track up on here on YouTube searches, guys. That's not looking too good, is it? Yeah, a little bit of Genshin Impact in there too. Yeah, why, yeah, share the pain. That's not looking too good, is it? Well, Endless
What?
Zero.
It's an uptrend. What are you talking about? Honkai Star Rail 2, like they're about to pop off.
This is where AKE is. Just so you know. And there you go, yeah, woo on top. That's the situation, guys. Why are you copying AKE? Why are you taking inspiration from this game? Because, guys, all people need to do is take a look at this system, then take a look at something called pull count. Guys, do you know what AKE's pull count actually is? This is their pull count. 120 pull pity. If you don't have it by the time you start pulling, you lose everything. So you actually have to save up for 2 patches in advance to get a single character. And you cannot engage with the gacha system at all. You must ignore it until you have 120. You pretend it is not there because you cannot stand the risk of losing everything.
There it is. And this is the problem. Because participating in that hype is very important to players. Because you yourself, because it becomes very predatory, and players are not stupid. Like, we see what you're trying to do. It's like, I'm not going to allow you to entice me this much into spending, into getting a character because of the blockage of the goddamn the gacha system. Like, let me try an early. Fuck, I mean, can a ninja do that? I'd appreciate it if I could. Like, get an early, feel happy about that. That'd be nice. And not feel like I'm about to be completely penalized if I lose.
The only way you can touch the gacha system is to pay money. The gacha is literally pay to
yeah,
play in this
it's
game,
very,
where
yeah,
you wait
100%.
3 months to pull a unit. If you want to touch the gacha system, you have to pay or wait 3 months in between pulls.
There it is, yeah.
You get to pull 4 times a year.
You're very encouraged to have that particular approach, 100%.
You get to get 4 characters a year and pull 4 times a year. And that's all because of pity carry forward not existing.
I love how a chatter said, or get a sponsorship. Exactly.
So is it truly just psychological? Do you just need a ration? Is it all just like loose air, like all these CCs keep saying, the Mr. Jokies, the Grifta Smacks? Or, in practice, is it truly just, wow, this system is cooked from the ground up, and we've seen live first
No, it's the here it is. You see it right here. This is the problem. The amount of freebies, the amount of pulls given to you for free.
hand from AKE itself how toxic this system is.
Look at that, 71 pulls, 80. Dude, in NTE, how many pulls did we get? Like 140 or something, if I remember. Free-to-players will receive 169 pulls total in the version, while subscribers on the monthly pass can look forward to 193. So we're getting 169 with no 50-50 system. No, you can get both units, by the way. I can get Shinku and the other one. So when you look at this and you compare it to this, you can clearly start to see the problem with Arknight's Enfield. It's not necessarily the gacha, it's the stinginess. Like, this shit is too stingy.
Because, guys, I feel like part of the reason why the pull count is going down is because the devs know there's no players left. So anyone that's still playing is just a little piggy. Pay up, dog.
He's onto something there.
Pay up, little piggy. Because what the fuck? Like, how does your pull count go down after losing that many players?
Yeah, because like anybody that has managed to break through all the barriers of complexity that these devs have set up, like, you're there. Like, that's it. We can just milk you dry. And that's just bad. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I can't, because here's the thing, due to the live service model, and it feels like there's some degree of a consumer to dev relationship. I don't think I want to be in this particular dynamic of a relationship. This is just toxic. I don't like to be where I'm not appreciated. And I think I speak for a lot of players when I say that.
Milking mode has already begun. Bro, milking mode is already here. It looks like Genshin level of pulls. AKE speed ran its demise. Silver Palace is going to have this as like a sort of like dark record on its game state unless something big happens. And this is why part of me is thinking is that potentially, just throwing this out there, isn't this a crazy devs listen moment? Now that you've seen the reaction, now that you've seen the number of people so pissed off about this, them pivoting, saying they're dropping Enfield system and adopting Wuwas instead, isn't that a huge devs listen moment that brings a lot of hype to the game? That you recognize how bad another system is and you implement a better one instead?
Yeah.
And that becomes a marketing point moving forward?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
for sure.
saying, you already kind of like see the seeds over here, and this is a very easy time to make changes to the game.
Yes.
And they do say any PR is good PR, especially if you're able to turn negative PR into positive PR.
Absolutely.
And this would be an easy way to turn negative PR into some of the most positive PR that you can.
100%.
Because you say the devs listen, and they fixed what the problem was.
They can literally set themselves up for success right now.
And the fact that these devs have said that this system, in recent news, is subject to change, leads me to believe that that's always going to be a possibility out there. Because
Okay, hold on. So did they say it verbatim? Like, they're actually gonna tackle the gacha system, or like, are they just what's it called? Being vague about, oh, well, everything is subject to change. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all good in the hood. This is Anime Expo, I think, stuff like that. Jesus, who are you? Jesus, man. We messed up, Chad. We weren't there. I need to be there next time. I need to be there. Let's see here. Looking around. Yeah, scrolling around here. I only see character announcements. And yeah, I mean, the Anime Expo looks good and stuff, but sadly, we don't have that strong, solid. Oh yeah, we're looking into the gacha system as of yet, but we'll see. I mean, they are aware of this response now, so we'll see how things go. But like he says, and I'm with Saint on this one, they have a strong opportunity, a huge opportunity to really, really set themselves up for success by showing that the player's voice is heard and they are willing to change predatory practices to meet player satisfaction. That's just huge. That would, man, sign me up.
I don't think these guys are stupid. I don't think these publishers are
They're
dumb.
not.
I don't think these guys are ridiculous. I think they can see what's going on. I think they know that these games are wildly unpopular, that it is popular to hate on AKE, that this game is so bad that the mere mention of it is enough to get like some gacha players sweating. Because guys, that is what this game is known for. This game is literally...
What?
It is known as
Oh, he refreshed again. Oh, God.
the worst gacha on the market. The worst game on the market that is only currently existing, thriving off of Hypergriff's previous reputation and the Arknight's IP. And if this game didn't have the Arknight's IP, bro, it would have died 3 months ago. And
True.
I think the issue truly is this kind of like negative PR unless it's utilized soon,
Which also fits how Arknights Infield is doing its thing, because it feels like they just want to take full advantage of the already existing Arknights community. And I don't know if you noticed, but those people spend a lot of money. That Arknight still makes a lot of money. I think it definitely feels like a cash grab at the already existing fans while attempting to add new fresh blood to the game through the already existing Hoyo fans that have been established through Genshin Impact. It feels like it was that. But like Arknights Infield, like the more you look at it, the more it screams, we're here for the money. There's no something for the players. It's all about the money. It's super predatory. And that degree of predatory is just, we don't tolerate that. We don't take kindly to that degree of predatory around. Yeah.
I don't really see it helping out the game very much. Because I hope they come out with the response soon, right? They come out with the devs listen soon.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's just a bunch of people shitting on the game.
No, it's gonna, like, the beta needs to end, and only then will they make maybe an announcement. But who knows? They might announce something soon. That'd be nice.
And that's one of the reasons for why I made this
Reactivity is
video.
always nice.
Because I wanted to wait until the actual public beta. I wanted to wait and see what their final thing is supposed to be. I wanted to wait.
Oh, yeah, so that we have that from the Anime Expo, but the actual beta isn't out yet. Okay.
Right? Until I got to see their first actual official pass. But with the amount of discourse surrounding how awful this is for the space right now, guys, I just want this game to succeed. And if some tough love is what...
Just give us more freebies. Problem solved. Really. Do it like NTE. Give us, for example, 160 pulls a patch. You know what I'm saying? Or, I know, this is a brave take. Through monthly pass, for example, you can give us, or maybe without it, like you can give us 240. And maybe through the monthly pass, I can guarantee myself both characters at E0. And I don't even get the SIG. I mean, in the SIG, you know, you can get one SIG through the Arknights Enfield banner system because you keep pulling and you get the secondary resource that you can then use for SIGs. I mean, that'd be nice. I'm just saying.
It's necessary. I'm going to call it out. And that results in me being a public enemy for the game. It is what it is. Because, guys, I don't care if Arknights Enfield players hate me. Because I told the truth about their game and the devs didn't listen. And guess what? Even if Arknights Enfield players love me right now, who the fuck cares? It's not like there's any fucking content to make about it. You see anyone making Arknights Enfield videos? Who cares if somebody's loved in the Enfield community? That love is useless. I'm sorry to say it. Yeah, that love is fucking useless, bro, because there is no community. So I'd rather there be a game.
I see what he's trying to say.
And I take some hits. I take some negative PR, and there's still a game afterwards that I can cover. Enfield, as you can clearly see, when you take the Mr. Jokey approach, when you take the I'm paid off and I'm grifting approach, so I'll just say some crazy shit about the game that's so unbelievably false, it's insane, and then they have no game. Because you see these guys making AKE content? You see Grift as Smack making Enfield videos? Bro, let me
I think he
check it out.
does.
Hey, when's the last time Gacha Smack made an Enfield video unsponsored?
Oh, he doesn't.
Sponsored. You're never going to find it. These guys will just take a paycheck, say whatever to make the company happy, and then just watch as the game dies, I guess.
There's just being more nuanced, and that's it. The problem is, and I feel like where Smack or Mr. Poke have failed to mention, is the lack of freebies. The problem is not the inherent system. Once again, it's just the lack of freebies that makes it problematic. As the guy earlier mentioned, it's super obvious.
Because, well, it doesn't matter what the fuck they're saying, right? And if you let that happen to Silver Palace too, then guess what? It's just another dead game that you don't get to cover it anymore. It's just another dead game. This is what happens when you don't listen to the players. This is what happens when you ignore the players. This is what happens when CCs grift like fucking crazy, actively lie about everything surrounding this game, and then pretend everything's fine, and then the numbers just speak for themselves. I don't want this to happen to a game that I feel like has potential.
Oh
I
yeah,
see
it has a
CCs,
shit ton of
devs,
potential.
all
Could
these
be the next
parties
big thing.
involved, toxic positive individuals murder a game live in front of me in 2026. We all saw a literal active murder scene of people killing AKE. And if you're not at least slightly
No, Hypergriff killed AKE. No one else did.
concerned for this game, after seeing what happened to AKE, I don't know what else to say. Because, guys, this
True.
is the result of grifting. This is because people would
No.
not say the truth. This is
No.
because people were paid off. And
No.
you saw it happen to NTE too. You don't want it to happen to Silver Palace as well. Because
What? What do you mean? NTE is just not that popular because, you know, the fact is Wuwa and Genshin has, you know, NTE feels like this, it's like a cat. Like the lion has gotten the hunt, it's eating, and the cat comes in and just eats with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like is this taking advantage of something that has been established by the bigger lion, the bigger feline, and that's it. That's it. I don't even think NGE is trying to like be this new, like Silver Palace, for example. Silver Palace is obviously trying to be a new AAA superior experience. 100%. You can just say it. You can just see it and say it easily. NGE doesn't feel like that. It doesn't, because when you consider that little bit of lack of polish, you can clearly say that you know, they're just here to take advantage of the existing market that WoWa and especially Genshin Impact has created. They're making some good money off of it. Let me check something. Did they make their money back? Did Neverness to Everness make its production costs back? Yes, Neverness to Everness effectively made its production costs back within a few weeks of its launch. While the exact budget has been reported some varies of 24 to 44 million USD, the game's strong financial performance indicates it quickly recouped its development costs. And there it is. So now everything they're making is basically just more money when you consider like, you know, new characters and stuff like that don't cost as much. So now they're just in the green. They're just taking off in terms of profitability for the company. And yeah, that's it. That's literally what they're doing. NTE is a business move, and to keep the players happy and to entice them to keep playing this one product. And whenever there's dissatisfaction with the other products, there's, you know, positive things, changes that people would love to see in already bigger titles over here in NTE if they want to have a switch. That's it. That's basically what I feel like NTE is trying to do. I'm not going to sit here and pretend otherwise. It's so blatant and obvious. And yeah, I think that's fine. It just gives me more tools to play. I play both WoWa and NTE. They're both good experiences. They're good, fantastic games. You know, WoWa obviously a lot more than NTE, at least for now. Maybe NTE could step their game up down the road. I hope they do. And yeah, that's it, man.
Guys, do we have any other games? Why do you think I want this game to succeed, bro? I'm not playing anything else. I'm not playing AKE. I'm not playing ZZZ. I'm not playing HSR. I'm not playing Genshin. I'm just playing WoWa, and I'd love to have another game. But if that other game releases with this game's gacha system, I won't have another fucking game to play. And that sucks. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.
Hey, you got it, man. We got you. And so, yeah, man, there it is. It's sad for him because he couldn't enjoy NTE. I guess he enjoys too much flashiness. For me, I'm okay, you know, considering I'm just your normal player. Like, I'm not too mechanically demanding player, you know what I'm saying? I can enjoy both. My approach in WoWa is simpler than most players. And yeah, I can enjoy both titles a lot, to be honest with you. I'm having a ton of fun with NTE right now because I still have maps to clear and stuff like that, resources to farm for. I spend a lot more time in NTE right now, currently, that I do in Wuthering Waves because, well, Wuthering Waves, I've been playing since day one, so I have a lot more resources. I'm chill, but I still have to go out there sometimes, kill monsters, especially the Exo Swarm for the new units. But so, yeah, there it is, man. I think all in all, whilst there is obvious cause for concern, I agree with saying that we should be concerned. The reality is, as long as we don't know the pull economy and how many pulls they're going to give per patch to allow us to navigate the system more, for the system to actually shine, to make it shine, let's calm the fuck down. We need to calm down. The system can be navigated. The system isn't that bad. It can be tackled. We just need the tools to tackle it. And we should have a decent experience all in all. I don't think it can be that bad. We're smart players out here. We figured out, elemental mastery and stuff. We could figure that stuff out too. Yes. Things are simple, man. Really, when you sit down and think about it, it's simple. It's just that we want things to be so simplistic that even simple things can seem complicated at times, because ultimately these are casual games. It's like, I don't want to waste this much energy and try to understand things that I'm supposed to be just casual about, that the devs themselves want me to be casual about. But so yeah, that's just me. Sorry, huge one obviously, because he had to keep going back and forth with Arcanized Enfield there for a minute, but I feel like it was a good topic all in all to cover. So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace in you.